So we're looking at two sorted lists, and we need to merge them to give a giant sorted list. So let's look at the example. We have 1, 2, 4 in the first list, and in the second list we have 1, 3, 4. And if you just merge them, you would get 1 and 2, and then so 1 and 1 from the left list and the right list, and then you would get 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then 4 again. So it's pretty self-explanatory. So let's get started with the solution. You would want to initialize a new list node that would say dummy, and the reason why we do that is because you want to have a new list node to which you would keep attaching the nodes, and you want to be able to return the head of that particular list. So you would initialize the list node, and then let's say you just initialize it with 0, and then you would also initialize head node, and then you just assign dummy to this. And the reason why we are doing that is because in the end we want to be able to return just dummy dummy.next, so which would actually have the start of the list. But you also need a duplicate of that because we want to keep pointing to the next node that we have just attached, so that we could attach to that again. So we would say while L1 is not equal to null and L2 is not equal to null, you would go about doing if L1.value is less than L2.value. If it is, you would just say head.next is equal to L1. L1 would have to point to the next, and then head is equal to head.next. So we see why this variable comes in handy. If you just had one variable, for example, like dummy, and if we kept pointing to the next one after we attached a new list node, we wouldn't be able to get to the head of the list that we want to return. That's the reason why you would have to have two duplicate nodes that point to the same thing, but we use one of them to keep going to the next list node that we just attached. And you would want to do the same for L2. And then this part of the code that we just added would make sense till one of them becomes null. So there would always be one value in the end that you haven't attached yet. So to take care of that, you could just possibly duplicate the while loop that we added, and we'll just see in a second how. And you wouldn't need any if loops because we know that we have already added, merged everything that we can possibly merge and sort them. So we would just have to keep, we just need to keep adding whatever is left. And you would want to do the same for the second one. And yeah, and then in the end you would just want to return dummy.next. So let's just run this code and see if it compiled and everything is okay. So the first test case that's provided is good. Let's submit it to see if everything is okay. Yes, it works. So that's a pretty simple question, but if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below.